You are born in a small village in medieval India, sometime in the early 14th century. No one writes down the year. No one marks the date. Your birth is known only to the women who helped your mother through the pain and to the walls of the small mud house that heard your first cry. Outside, the village continues as it always does. Men walk to the fields. Cattle are untied. Smoke rises from cooking fires. Life does not pause because a girl has been born. Your home is modest but familiar. The walls are made of clay and straw, cracked in places from heat and rain. The roof is low, forcing adults to bend slightly when they enter. During summer, the air inside feels heavy and warm. During winter, cold settles into the floor at night. You sleep close to your mother, listening to her breathing, feeling safe without knowing why. Your father is a weaver. His days are spent sitting near his loom, pulling thread into fabric that will be sold or traded. His hands are rough, always carrying the marks of work. Your mother runs the household. She cooks, cleans, spins cotton, fetches water, and looks after you. Her work never ends, but to you, it feels normal. This is the only world you know. As a young child, your life is simple. You wake up early to the sound of grinding stones and distant voices. You eat what is given to you. You play when you feel like it. You cry when you fall. No one expects discipline or obedience yet. You are allowed to exist without purpose. You are 5 now, and most of your days are spent outside. You run barefoot through narrow paths, dust sticking to your legs and feet. Sometimes your feet ache, but you do not complain. You chase goats, follow birds, and play games with other children using stones, sticks, or torn pieces of cloth. You laugh loudly. No one tells you to lower your voice. No one tells you to sit still. Childhood feels endless. In the evenings, you sit near older women while they talk. Their words drift around you, filled with things you do not yet understand. Marriage, duty, honor, family. These words exist, but they have no meaning for you. They feel distant, like stories that belong to another world. At night, you sleep deeply, your body tired from play, your mind free from worry. One afternoon, while playing outside your house with a few friends, something changes without warning. A small procession passes through the village. Girls walk together, dressed in bright clothes, their hands stained red, bangles covering their arms. They look nervous. Some of them are barely older than you. You recognize a few faces. These are girls who used to play, just like you. Someone says they are getting married. You stop playing and watch them closely. You do not understand what marriage means, but you feel that something important is happening. The girls do not smile much. Their eyes stay low. Adults watch them proudly. Some women cry, others laugh. You ask your friend what is happening. She tells you they are becoming wives. You ask what that means. She shrugs and runs off. You return to your game, but the image does not leave you. That night, as you lie next to your mother, the scene comes back to you. The quiet faces, the heavy clothes, the way the girls walked slowly as if unsure of each step. You explain your mother what you saw and ask her what was it all about, but she tells you that you will understand it gradually. After that day, small things begin to change. Girls who used to play with you stop coming outside. When you pass their houses, you see them working instead, carrying water, cleaning floors, cooking food. Their laughter is gone. No one explains why. At home, your mother begins correcting you more often. She tells you to sit properly, to keep your legs together, to lower your voice. She asks you to help with small tasks. You do not question it. You sense that something about you is changing, even though you are just a child. When you turn 6, conversations around you shift more clearly. Women talk in softer voices when you enter the room. Men mention your name while sitting under trees. Your mother measures your height, fixes your hair more carefully, and keeps you closer to home. You ask questions, but answers are vague. You are growing, they say. You still feel small, but you are no longer free. Between 6 and 10, childhood does not end suddenly. It fades. You play less. You work more. You learn to stay quiet. Weddings continue to happen in the village, and each one feels closer to you. You begin to understand, slowly and painfully, that what happened to those girls is not something unusual. It is expected. As soon as you turn 10, conversations stop when you enter the room. Neighbors visit more often. Your mother cleans more than usual when guests arrive. Your father sits straighter, speaks less, and listens more. You do not know why, but you feel watched, measured, and quietly discussed. One afternoon, an unfamiliar man arrives with your father. He is older, his beard touched with gray, his voice deep and steady. He sits on a woven mat while tea is poured. You are told to stay inside, but you listen from behind the thin wall. Words like family, respect, honor, and future pass through the room. You hear your own name spoken, followed by long pauses. This man is more than 40 years old. When he leaves, your parents do not look worried. They look relieved. Your father nods slowly, as if a heavy responsibility has been lifted from his shoulders. Your mother's face shows something close to pride. In a world where marrying young daughters is seen as a sign of good upbringing and strong family values, this proposal is not a burden. It is an achievement. People will speak well of them. They will say your parents acted wisely and early. That evening, women from nearby houses come to visit. They whisper and smile. Some congratulate your mother. Others talk about how lucky you are. No one asks where you are or how you feel. Later that night, your mother sits beside you. She does not ask you anything. She tells you that your father has agreed to your marriage. She tells you the man is respectable, established, and from a good family. She tells you this is how things are done. She tells you it is for your future. She tells you that you will understand one day. You stare at her, confused. Her words do not make sense, because you are just a kid, and instead of going to the school, you are being fed with this information. Marriage is only a story to you, a ceremony you have seen from a distance. Bright clothes, music, a bride leaving her home. You think marriage means dressing nicely and riding in a cart. You think it is something temporary, something like a festival. You do not understand that it is permanent. You do not understand that you will not come back. When her words finally sink in, fear rushes through you. You begin to cry. Not quiet tears, but loud, shaking sobs. You cling to her arm and beg her not to send you away. You tell her you are too small. You tell her you want to stay home. You tell her you are scared. She holds you, but her grip is firm, not comforting. She tells you that this is your fate, that girls do not choose, that your father has decided, that everything has already been arranged. She tells you crying will not change anything. She tells you to be brave. Your father does not come to speak to you. His decision has already been made. That night, you cry yourself to sleep with your face pressed into the floor, holding on to the only life you have ever known. You still do not fully understand what marriage means. You only know that you are being sent away, and that no one is asking whether you are ready. And eventually, wedding preparations begins. Women bathe you, rub oil into your hair, stain your skin with turmeric. You are dressed in heavy clothes that feel strange on your body. Jewelry presses into your skin. Bangles slide down your thin arms. Your head feels light. Your feet hurt. You look for your mother, hoping she will stop everything. She does not meet your eyes. You are seated next to a man old enough to be your father. He is in his 50s, to be precise. He does not speak to you. Sacred words are spoken. A fire burns. Rice slips from your trembling hands. A knot is tied. People clap. At the ripe age of 10, you get married, and you try to make sense of what is happening to you. That night, after the marriage ceremony, everyone enjoys a feast. You want to cry. You want to ask these people why are they enjoying a feast, which is on the departure of a child from her home. And that night, you leave your home forever. Your mother touches your hand once and steps back. The cart moves into darkness. When you arrive at your husband's house, his mother waits, looking at you carefully. As you reach the house, the women lead you through the unfamiliar house, their hands firm on your arms. They show you a small room and tell you this is where you will live from now on. The walls are bare. The air feels heavy. As you step inside, your heart begins to pound. Sitting inside the room is the man you are now married to. He looks as though he has been waiting. His eyes move slowly over you, from your face down to your feet. The way he looks at you makes your skin crawl. It is not the look of care or protection. It is a look that makes you feel small and unsafe, like something that has been claimed. Your throat tightens, and you struggle to hold back tears. He stands up and begins to walk toward you. Your body freezes. You do not understand what is expected of you. You do not know what is about to happen, only that you are afraid. The door closes behind you, cutting off the last sounds of the house. That night passes in fear and confusion, leaving marks not visible on your body, but deeply carved into your mind. When morning comes, you are no longer the same child who entered that room. From the next day onward, there is no pause, no time to recover. Work begins immediately, as if nothing has happened. You wake before sunrise, your body aching, your eyes swollen from crying. You clean floors, fetch water, and cook food that feels too heavy for your thin arms. If you are slow, you are scolded. If you make mistakes, you are blamed. No one asks how you feel. No one explains anything. Childhood ends quietly, not with words, but with exhaustion. From the very first weeks in the house, it becomes clear that your husband is not a man who understands kindness. When he returns from his work, he speaks in sharp, harsh tones. If the food is late, he raises his voice. If the floors are not spotless, he strikes without hesitation. You learn quickly that any delay, any small mistake, is not forgiven. His anger is a heavy, unpredictable presence in the house, always lingering just out of sight, waiting to descend. Your body tenses the moment you hear his footsteps. You flinch at the sound of his voice, even when it is only calling someone else. Nights are long. You sleep lightly, afraid that a small movement, a soft sigh, or a misplaced word will awaken his wrath. Fear wraps itself around your chest like a chain you cannot remove. Your mother-in-law is no kinder. She watches your every movement with eyes that seem to weigh your soul. There is no smile for you, no word of comfort. She expects every corner of the house to shine, every meal to be ready before he asks, every child to be held and cared for, even though you yourself are just a child. When you stumble, when you falter, she scolds you sharply, her voice cutting through the quiet of the morning. "Do not waste time," she says. "This is not play. This is your life now." You feel your small, aching body stretched to meet demands you cannot fully comprehend. Your hands ache, your arms burn, and your feet swell from carrying water or sweeping floors. Each day ends with exhaustion that seeps into your bones, leaving you trembling even in your sleep. There is no escape from this life. The idea of visiting your parents is forbidden. The village you were born in feels like a memory from another world, a story too distant to reach. Your parents do not come to see you, and even if they wanted to, no one would allow it. The letters you imagine sending cannot exist. You are trapped in a house that has never felt like home, with people who will never truly care for you. The only world you know now is this one, and it is made of labor, obedience, and fear. Emotionally, you feel torn in every direction. You miss the warmth of your mother's arms, the playful laughter of your friends, the smell of familiar food, the comfort of your own bed. Loneliness settles deep in your chest. Sometimes, as you sit cleaning the floor or carrying a heavy pot of water, tears burn behind your eyes. There is nowhere to let them fall without notice. There is no one to speak to, no shoulder to lean on. You carry the weight of this house, the expectations of the men and women around you, and the unspoken grief of a childhood that has been stolen, all at the same time. Your small hands and body ache, but your heart aches even more. Even as the days stretch endlessly, fear slowly gives way to something quieter, something heavier. Resignation. You learn to anticipate anger before it comes, to move silently and quickly, to obey without question. You adapt not because the work becomes easier, but because you have no other choice. Your body grows stronger from labor, but your mind feels smaller, constricted, as if the world beyond the house has vanished entirely. Joy is a faint memory. Freedom is a whisper from another life, a life that now seems impossible to return to. Each day blends into the next, a constant cycle of work, fear, and isolation. And yet, underneath it all, there is a small, persistent pulse of longing. Sometimes, when you hide briefly behind the curtain, or when the house is quiet for a moment, you remember your parents' faces, the laughter of your childhood friends. the way the sun felt on your skin as you ran barefoot through the village paths. You hold on to those memories desperately, even as the house and the people inside it press down on you, threatening to erase every trace of who you once were. That quiet, fragile memory is all you have of yourself, and it is what keeps you going, day after day, even as the work crushes you and the fear follows you everywhere. At 16, your body, still growing, is forced into pregnancy. You feel weak and dizzy, but work does not stop. You carry water while your back aches. You cook while shaking. No one offers comfort. When childbirth comes, the pain lasts for hours. There is no doctor. You scream until your voice breaks. You survive. Raising the child brings no rest. You work constantly. There is no emotional support. You are not allowed to visit your parents. You are alone. Your body does not heal before you are pregnant again. The second childbirth is worse. Pain tears through you. Again, you survive. By 18, you are caring for 2 children, serving a household, and enduring a husband who beats you when angry. Your body is exhausted. Your mind feels numb. You are still young, but you feel old. One day he notices that a pot of food has spilled slightly while you were carrying it. His voice rises immediately, harsh and cutting. Words sting like lashes. Then his hand strikes you, not with force meant to kill, but with enough pain to remind you that obedience is not optional. Your body shrinks, your knees buckle slightly, but you stay silent. Crying or complaining would only make it worse. He leaves shortly after, satisfied that his anger has reminded you of your place, leaving you trembling and exhausted. Your mother-in-law does not soften the blow. She watches quietly from the doorway, her eyes calculating. You sense her judgment in every glance. After he leaves, she instructs you to clean the floors again, to scrub harder, to carry water further than yesterday. She criticizes the way you hold your child, the speed at which you prepare meals, the way you arrange the courtyard. There is never a moment to rest. Then, one day, he dies. Your husband, the man whose voice made your heart jump with fear, whose hand left bruises you could hide but not forget, whose presence turned every day into a lesson in obedience and survival, is gone. And yet, even in his absence, life does not become easier. The household reacts quickly. Your bangles are taken from you, your colorful clothes replaced with somber, dull fabrics that mark your status as a widow. Your hair is tied back simply. The bright threads and jewelry that once reminded you of your childhood and your brief illusions of beauty are gone. You are watched more closely now, controlled more rigidly. Your mother-in-law's eyes weigh heavier. Her expectations sharpen, and the work does not lessen. If anything, it increases. You are blamed for small things. A mislaid pot, an untidy corner, the slightest mistake in the children's care. Whispers follow you through the house. Even the children's laughter feels muted. A reminder that joy is no longer meant for you. At just the age of 20, you become a widow. Widowhood is not a freedom. It is another prison. A prison where your body is still expected to perform labor beyond its strength, your voice is silenced even further, and your mind struggles to survive the quiet, suffocating weight of control. Each day blends into the next, a slow, painful rhythm of cleaning, cooking, and hiding emotions. Fear and fatigue have long since become companions, and grief is both constant and invisible, threaded into every motion, every glance, every whispered command. The life you once had, brief as it was, even with its fear and pain, feels irretrievably gone. Now you exist not as a person, but as a vessel for duty, expectation, and survival, carrying memories of what you were, what you lost, and what the world has forced upon you. Years pass, and you grow stronger physically, hardened by labor, yet your spirit feels thinner, stretched between exhaustion and endless expectation. The children grow too, learning the same lessons you were forced to learn. You teach them to obey quietly, to endure pain, to hide tears. You know the world will demand obedience and strength from them as it demanded from you. Sometimes you wonder if it could have been different, if someone had spoken for you, if someone had protected you, but you do not dare dwell on that thought for long. It brings only sadness and anger, feelings that have nowhere to go in this house that is not your own. In the evenings, when the courtyard grows quiet and the sun dips low, you sometimes pause, leaning against the walls you have scrubbed so many times, and allow yourself to feel small, to remember the child you once were. You remember the games, the laughter, the sunlight on your face, the freedom you did not understand until it was gone. And in those moments, the sorrow wells up, bitter and silent, because you know that life has been stolen from you in 1,000 quiet ways, and there is no one to return it. You have turned 45 now, and your hair grays slowly. Your hands grow rougher. Your body carries the marks of work, of fear, of survival, but also of endurance. And yet, despite everything, you continue. You rise each morning, you feed the children, you keep the house, you endure the punishments, the scolding, the expectations, and the loneliness. There is no choice but to continue. You have become both shadow and pillar, bearing a life that never truly belonged to you, carrying grief and memory and duty together in a quiet, relentless rhythm. When you finally grow old, your children grown enough to face the world, you are left with a profound silence. The house is still, the courtyard empty, the weight of your life settling finally into quiet stillness. You have survived. You have endured. But survival feels heavy, a mixture of sorrow and strength. You are neither celebrated nor remembered by those who dictated your life. And yet, in your heart, a quiet, enduring truth remains. The world you were born into, the customs that bound you, the people who controlled you, all exist because no one asked questions, because obedience was valued above life, because children like you were considered property to be handed, claimed, and molded without care. And so, as your life draws to its quiet close, you look back not with anger at yourself, but with a deep understanding of the system that shaped you, trapped you, and tried to erase you. Another girl is born, another family celebrates her, another cycle begins. You hope, silently, that someday, somehow, she will be spared the full weight of the world that claimed you so completely. This is the end of your story, but not the end of the system. It survives in quiet homes, in silent obedience, in traditions that have gone unchallenged for centuries. You live your life, and it lives on, in the echoes of children, in the walls of the houses, in the hearts of those who follow the same rules without knowing the pain they bring.